At 21 years old, now in her fourth year of law school at a prestigious university in New York City, Emma found herself at the center of an emotional whirlwind, torn between the promise of a bright future and the weight of a shadowy past. Jake, her boyfriend since high school, represented that past. Raised together in the quiet town of Asheville, North Carolina, they shared cherished memories, youthful dreams, and the certainty of a future side by side. Jake was stability, security, home. But as the years passed, Emma's life had taken a different path. The city had transformed her, opening her eyes to a world of possibilities Jake could never truly understand. Her friends, Chloe and Sophia, were the catalysts of this transformation. Outgoing, independent, and unapologetically themselves, they introduced Emma to a vibrant and exhilarating reality, one far removed from the slow-paced, predictable life of her hometown. The parties, the clubs, the fleeting encounters, everything was new, everything was thrilling. That fateful Friday night, the invitation to Eclipse, the hottest nightclub in the city, felt like an irresistible call. Jake, as usual, couldn't come with her. His grandmother, frail from age and illness, needed his constant care. Emma felt a lump in her throat as she said goodbye to him, a mixture of guilt and anticipation tightening in her chest. Eclipse was an entirely different world, a labyrinth of strobe lights, deafening music, and bodies moving in a feverish trance. Emma let herself be swallowed by the atmosphere of freedom and reckless abandon, feeling adrenaline surge through her veins. Chloe and Sophia urged her to drink, to dance, to let go. And then, Ryan appeared. Tall, dark-haired, with a smile that could melt the Arctic ice. He embodied everything Emma desired, and feared. One look, a simple greeting, and the attraction became tangible, almost electric. They danced close, their bodies moving in perfect sync. Ryan whispered compliments in her ear, calling her beautiful, intelligent, captivating. Emma felt weightless, as if living in a dream. The image of Jake faded from her mind, replaced by Ryan's magnetic gaze. Her conscience tormented her, the thought of Jake haunted her. But the attraction was overwhelming, the desire uncontrollable. Emma allowed herself to drift in this sea of temptation, ignoring the warnings in her mind, postponing the inevitable confrontation with reality. The kiss struck like lightning, sudden, electrifying. Their lips met in a clash of passion and longing, silencing any lingering guilt or hesitation. Emma surrendered, without reservations, without fear. They left Eclipse together, hand in hand, as if they were lovers swept up in a whirlwind romance. They went to Ryan's apartment, a sleek and modern Brooklyn loft with a breathtaking view of the city skyline. The night was long, intense, filled with wine, whispered conversations, and lingering touches. Emma gave into pleasure, forgetting Jake, forgetting her responsibilities, forgetting her life. When she woke up, the moral hangover hit her like a tsunami. The guilt was suffocating, the remorse unbearable. She had betrayed Jake, the one who loved her the most, the one who trusted her completely. She felt dirty, unworthy, deserving of any punishment. She had to confess. She had to unburden herself from this weight crushing her chest. But how? How could she face Jake? How could she tell him the truth? The fear paralyzed her, kept her from taking action. She returned to her small student apartment, her heart pounding, only to find a message from Jake on her phone. "I'm coming to see you. I've missed you so much." Panic gripped her. She needed to make a decision. She had to choose between fantasy and reality. Ryan arrived smiling, his eyes shining with warmth. Emma embraced him tightly, feeling the weight of her betrayal pressing against her chest. The words came out with difficulty, choked with emotion. She told him everything, in detail, without omitting anything. Ryan listened in silence, his face unreadable. When Emma finished, he looked at her with deep sadness and disappointment. He didn't say a single word, he just stood up and walked away. Emma's world collapsed. She had lost Ryan. She had lost his trust. She had lost herself. The remorse consumed her, the guilt tortured her. That night at Eclipse, the kiss with Ryan, the fleeting pleasure, it had all turned into a nightmare. The days dragged on, slow and painful. Emma couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't focus on her studies. Chloe and Sophia tried to console her, but nothing could ease her pain. With time, the wound healed, but the scar remained. Emma learned to live with the guilt, to move forward, to build a new life. But she never forgot Ryan, the love she had lost, the betrayal she had committed. Years later, Emma had become a well-respected attorney, admired by colleagues and valued by her clients. She achieved professional success, social recognition, and financial independence. But none of it filled the void in her heart. One day, as she flipped through an old photo album, she came across a picture of Ryan. Time had passed, but the memory of his smile, his warmth, his love remained untouched. Emma felt a pang in her chest, a sharp stab of regret. She decided to look for him. She needed to know how he was. She needed to apologize. She discovered that Ryan was married, had children, and was happy. Emma felt a mix of relief and sorrow. Relief that he had found happiness, sorrow that she had not been the one to share it with him. She saw him again at a charity event in their hometown. Their hug was brief but filled with emotion. They talked about life, about the past, about the future. Emma realized that Ryan had forgiven her, that he had moved on from the pain. He told her that life had taught him to value the simple things, to forgive mistakes, and to move forward. Emma smiled, tears welling in her eyes. She had found peace. She had finally freed herself from the guilt. As they said goodbye, Ryan looked at her and said, "Be happy, Emma. You deserve it." She smiled, tears still lingering in her eyes. She had learned her lesson. She had understood the true meaning of love and forgiveness. Life went on, with its ups and downs, its joys and sorrows. Emma never married, never had children. She dedicated herself to her career, her friends, and social causes. She became a strong, independent, and accomplished woman. But the memory of Ryan, the lost love, the betrayal, always stayed with her. It was an invisible scar, a constant reminder that some choices carry lifelong consequences. And so, Emma lived her life, carrying the weight of her past but always striving for a better future. She learned to forgive herself, to accept her imperfections, to cherish moments of happiness. And in the end, she discovered that life is a constant journey of learning, a chance for redemption, a chance to become a better person. Life continued its course. Emma became a well-respected attorney, fighting for causes she believed in, seeking justice wherever she could. She never married, but she built a strong network of loyal friends and devoted herself to community projects, trying to make up for her past mistakes in her own way. Yet, the image of Ryan remained vivid in her memory, a quiet ghost reminding her of the innocence lost and the love that could have been. One day, while visiting her hometown for a legal aid project, Emma received devastating news. Ryan had passed away. The shock hit her like a thunderbolt, leaving her breathless, her world spinning. The guilt, which she thought she had overcome, resurfaced with full force, invading her soul like a storm. She attended the funeral, feeling like an intruder among Ryan's grieving family. She saw his wife, his children, his aging parents, and she felt the immense weight of her absence in the life of the man who had once loved her unconditionally. After the ceremony, Ryan's wife approached her. She recognized Emma from old photographs and from the stories Ryan had told. Instead of bitterness, there was kindness in her words. She thanked Emma for being a part of Ryan's life, even if only for a brief time. She revealed that Ryan had forgiven Emma long ago and had always looked back on their time together with affection. Her words were a balm to Emma's wounded soul. Slowly, the guilt began to fade, replaced by a quiet sense of peace and gratitude. Emma realized that despite her past mistake, Ryan had truly loved her, and in some way, that love had shaped her into the person she had become. Emma left her hometown with a lighter heart but with the certainty that Ryan's memory would stay with her forever. His forgiveness was a gift, one that allowed her to finally let go of the weight she had carried for so long. The betrayal had been a turning point in her life, a painful lesson that taught her the value of loyalty, of forgiveness, of true love. And even with the scars of the past, Emma kept moving forward, seeking happiness, seeking redemption, honoring Ryan's memory and the love he had once given her. Emma's story became a lasting reminder that the choices we make echo throughout eternity, shaping our destiny and defining who we are. And that even in our mistakes and failures, there is always an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to find inner peace.